So in this video, we're going to write some code that will allow us to manage the Discord channels. So creating, updating, and deleting channels. But before we do that, there is something I want to do here, and that is in our authentication, once we get the access token, if the account already exists in our database, we need to make sure that we are setting the status of the account back to installed. That way, if the user has uninstalled the app, once they come back and they go through the authentication, even if we have the account because the app was previously installed, the status will be uninstalled. So we need to make sure that it's installed here. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a routes file for our channels. So let's open up terminal, and in here we are going to code routes/channel routes.js, and we are also going to create a controller. So code controllers channel controller.js. Let me save that and save that. And by the way, previously we had called the authentication controller with S at the end. I like to stick with the controller file names without the S, so I'm gonna rename that. And it should have updated my imports inside of auth. So perfect, it has updated my imports. Now, let's go ahead and create the channel routes. All right. Create an express.js routes file for channels. The routes should be CRUD operations that point to, and we have controllers/channel controller functions to their respective. Okay, so CRUD means create, read, update, delete. So those are the functions that we want to use, and we want them to point to the controller of the channels. Let's see if this is going to work. Okay, amazing. Perfect. So we have post to create a channel. We have get to get all channels. We have get to get a channel by ID. And we have put to update a channel and delete by ID to delete a channel. This is perfect. Create an express.js channel controller that holds functions to manage channels. Functions should have their name and should be exported at the end. Okay, now this is looking good. Now let's go back to the routes and see. So create channel is there, get all channels is there. So all the functions are there. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and give get all channels a try. Now let's return get all channels. So let's go to Postman and actually test this inside of Postman. This will allow us to send the token and debug everything. Now inside of Postman, I will create a new request, and I will request localhost 3000/channels. Okay, so now we have get all channels. Let me just zoom in a little bit. It's returning get all channels, so we are reaching this area here. And the first thing I want to do is inside of Postman, I want to add the token to the request. So the way I will do that is through a bearer token. Now we need to input the token here. So let's go to our page where we had the token earlier. So this is our page. And let's put the token here. Now we will go ahead and send this, and not in changes, but if we go here and do get token from header, perfect. Now let's go ahead and return the token just to see if we're getting it. And there we go, we are getting the token here. So now that we have the token, let's tell Copilot to decode the JWT token using env.jwt secret, and then get the account ID from it. Okay, And let me just go back to our authentication controller to see what we named the account ID. We name it account underscore ID. So that's what we need to use in here. And let's return account. Let's return account ID like this. Now let's see if we have the account ID. So it's okay. So it's giving me an error because it thinks I'm trying to send a status code because the ID is an integer. So let's go ahead and return it as JSON. Okay, there we go. So account ID is 1. So using this account ID, we know which account the user is trying to access. So we can pull that account from the database, and then we can go ahead and manage the Discord channels in there. So let's do that. Const account will be equal to account find1, and we need to import account. So const account equals require models account. Perfect. Now, in order for a way to work, we need to have a sync in here. All right. So now that we have the account, and it's always a good idea to make sure the account is there. Otherwise, we're going to throw a 404 error. All right. So now we have the account, and we can go ahead and get the channels. But before we do that, this logic that we have created here for the token will be reused in every function that manages something related to the account. So it's a good idea to wrap this logic right here inside of a middleware. Let's go ahead and create a new folder, and we'll call it middlewares. And inside of this folder, we're going to add a middleware called verify token. So let's go ahead and cut this logic right here, and we will give it to Copilot to use it to create a middleware. So inside of our middleware in here, so we haven't saved it yet, we'll tell Copilot to create a verify token middleware using the following logic, and also pass the account instance through to the controller. Okay, so let's see what it does. All right, so it created a function called verify token, and it uses the authorization token just like we did. It goes ahead and decodes the token to get the account ID from it, and then it finds the account. If it doesn't find the account, it throws the error and it returns. If it finds the account, it is going to add the account to the request, and then it will go to next. Now we just need to make sure that all of the calls here are actually using this middleware, and when they are using this middleware, the account instance will be found inside of the request variable. So the way we add a middleware is by going to the routes and by adding the middleware in here. So verify token, and we need to import const verify token will be imported from the middleware verify token. So there it is. It looks like it's not correctly imported. Let me try. We go up one level, and then we go to middlewares with S. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we have the verify token here. It is going to be used in all of the functions, because all of these functions need to have this middleware not only to identify the account, but also to protect any misuse of the function, because it writes to the database. And now that we have the account, const account equals request.account. So that's our account, and we can go ahead and just return the account.discord channels, and let's see what we get. We double N there. See what we get here. Invalid token. So we're getting invalid token. Why is that? Okay, so it looks like we did not move this line right here that imports JWT secret from the environment variable. Okay, let's try that again. We have an empty array, and we need to parse the empty array. So JSON.parse in order to get it as JSON. So there we go. Now that's an empty array in JSON. Now let's go to create channel and let's create a new channel from request body. So channel equals request.body. Get the channel instance from the account. Yes. Discord channels from the account instance. Perfect. And then add the new channel in the Discord array. Yes. So we are going to add the channel from the body to the Discord channels array. And then we update the account instance with the Discord channels. And then we are going to save it. And we are going to return the new channel. Lovely. Perfect. Now let's try to test the create channel function. Remember that the channel routes create channel is under slash. All right, so we are going to post two channels, and in the body we are going to send a JSON object, and it's going to just be a dummy channel like this. So it's going to have a random ID, a name. We're going to give it a total. This is the number of times the notification was sent to Discord. We're going to give it an active boolean, false or true, and then a URL. This is going to be the webhook URL from Discord where the notification is going to be sent to. Now let's try that. Send. It did not return anything. That's not a good sign. Let's see what's up here. And that is because we need to require body parser. Okay, so it imports body parser and it's going to use it as a middleware. Let's go ahead and try this again, and you can see that it's now returning the channel. And if we select the object from here, you can see that we have a nice JSON array right there. You can try that again and call this channel 2, add it, and if we go ahead and get all channels, you can see that now we're getting both channels returned. Okay, so getting all channels and creating a channel is now working. Next is get channel by ID. Okay, so yeah, get channel by ID. Okay, so we are going to pass the ID in the parameter. That's what the route says here. Get the ID, and the ID is here. So we're going to get the ID from the params, and then get the account instance from the request, like always, and get the Discord channels from the account instance, and then get the channel with the given ID. So it's going to find the channel using its ID, and then we need to return the channel, and there we have it. So now we know that this is an ID of a channel. We're going to do it like this, and nothing comes back. And it's not returning anything because we have 3 equals here. And since this is an int and the query from the URL may be coming as a string, it's not evaluating as equal. So we set that to 2 equals, and then we try again, and there we have it. So that's getting a channel by ID. Now let's update the channel, add update channel code. Okay, let's see what's up. So we're getting the ID from the request. Let me check the route. The route says update channel, and it's put with the ID. Okay, perfect. Now Discord channel parse channel index. So it gets the channel index, and then it goes ahead and uses that index and overwrites the current channel with the data that is coming from the body. And then at the end, is going to return the Discord channel. Let's see if this is actually working. So we are going to update this second one. First, let's go ahead and see what we're getting here. We have this one called channel 2. Let's change its name to channel 3. Okay, so let's do this, and this is the new name, and it's put, and let's pass the ID like this, and its name is now changed to channel 3. Perfect. Now let's delete the channel. So add delete channel code. This is straightforward. It's just going to map through the channels and then find it using the ID like this. And then if it finds it, it is going to splice at that index, and then it's going to save the channels. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete. Let me check this. So delete with the ID. Okay, so let's send a delete request to this one. channel deleted. Perfect. Now let's get the channels, and we only have one channel. Okay, so what is left now? I think we're done. All right, perfect. So we're done updating our channels using our channels controller. So in the next video, we are going to cover the webhooks. Now, what the webhooks do is they send notifications from light funnels whenever something happens. We will use two webhooks, the order webhook when someone buys something from the account at light funnels will tell us about that order, and the uninstall webhook so that we can update the account on our database so that we know which accounts still have the app installed on light funnels and which account do not have the app installed on light funnels. So I'll see you in the next video about webhooks.